So let's begin with introduction. Germany, officially the Federal Republic of Germany, is a country in Central Europe. It is the second most populous country in Europe after Russia and the most populous member state of the European Union. It covers an area of 357,022 square kilometers with a population of over 83 million within its 16 constituent states. Germany economy is a well-developed social market economy. It has the biggest national economy in Europe, the fourth largest in the world by nominal GDP, and the fifth in terms of GDP purchasing power parity (PPP). According to the International Monetary Fund (IMF), the country accounted for 28% of the Eurozone GDP in 2017. Germany founded both the European Union and the Eurozone.
Now we proceed to the theoretical literature. Betty, Cadman, and Burnett 2012 investigated the top 4 exporters were China, the United States, Germany, and Japan. Of the 4 leading exporters, only Germany has not been accused of shaking to depress its exchange rate. Bowen Young Kim 2001 found that excess money does not have a significant impact on the inflation. It is because in an open economy, there are 3 main sources of inflation, which is monetary inflation, wage inflation, and imported inflation. An early study was presented by Hamilton 1983 was examined the relationship between the price of oil and real GDP, finding that increasing oil prices lead to a decline in real GDP. Manchow 2017 investigated that Germany has manipulated its real exchange rate by low wage growth and support for policies that have led to a weaker euro. Next, I will explain the factors affecting euro exchange rate, which is export. Mercer 2012 said that its exchange rate has been held down because it is linked to weaker eurozone economies. They also reported that exchange elasticity are much higher for exports to other eurozone countries than for export outside the eurozone. They note that German goods are differentiated and thus may be less sensitive to exchange rates. Then they reported that Germany has export elasticity relatively close to zero. They also note that the appreciation of the euro after 2000 did not affect Germany's unit labor cost reflected real effective exchange rate very much because Germany's success at increasing productivity and reducing costs. They concluded that if the appreciation of the euro between 2001 and 2004 had only a limited impact on German export because the exchange rate elasticity was more. German export to the Eurozone increased 61% for capital goods and 96% for consumption goods between 2000 and 2010. Then we move to the inflation. The wage inflation results from wages increases posing excessive demand and leading to higher unit costs, which directly lead to higher inflation. The imported inflation goes through the median of exchange rates and foreign prices. However, this equilibrium on the market of production factors has a significant, which is 0.26 effect on inflation. Both money supply and interest rate turn out to have a significant influence on inflation in Germany. Interest rates were also an instrument used when controlling inflation.
The trade of Germany increased dramatically in year 2008, then decreased in 2009 and 2011. Then trade of Germany constantly increased until 2019 and dropped in 2020. And in 2021, trade continued increase. The oil price of Germany increased dramatically in year 2008, then decreased in 2009. The oil price of Germany increased until 2013 and dropped again until 2017. In 2019, oil price continued increase. After that, dropped dramatically until 2021. Next, descriptive analysis. It represents annual data of 20 years start from 2002 until 2021. Exchange rate mean indicates the value of Germany rank. Likewise, the export sum up to 1.53148 plus 12. Meanwhile, the inflation is 1.47133. Furthermore, the minimum oil price is 0, while the maximum oil price is 0.03276. The average oil price is 0.01944. The last one is straight. For over 20 years is 79.8038.
For model summary, the value of R square is 0.74160391. It shows that about 74.1% of the exchange rate of Germany is explained by export inflation, oil price, trade, and exchange rate. As for adjusted R square is 0.6726982749. It means that 67.2% of the variation exchange rate variability. The dependent variables are mostly explained by independent variables. Net is for coefficient. The result shows that export inflation and trade have significant impact on the exchange rate variability. Therefore, the null hypothesis is rejected and the alternative hypothesis is accepted. And then for oil price, it has insignificant effect on the exchange rate variability and the null hypothesis is accepted. And lastly is for ANOVA. It's used to compare reference of mean amount to more than two groups. It does this by looking at the variation in the data and where the variation is found. Okay, for the regression, sum of square is 0.11348095168938. Then for residual is 0.039540022847363, and the total sum of square is 0.1530209745366725. The differential of regression is 4 and residual is 15, and the total of difference is 19, and mean square of regression is 0.028370237922341, and for residual is 0.00263600152315709.
Germany has the world's largest trade surplus, totaling 310 billion. As a result, it has become the world's largest capital exporter. Germany is one of the world's greatest exporters, with 1,810 billion in products and services shipped in 2019. The service sector accounts for over 70% of total GDP, industry for 29.1%, and agriculture for 0.9%. Exports accounted for 41% of total national production. Vehicles, machinery, chemical goods, electronic items, electrical equipment, medicines, transport equipment, basic metals, food products, rubber and plastics are Germany's top 10 exports. The Deutschmark or D-Mark was the official currency of the Federal Republic of Germany until 2002. First issued in 1948, it was legal tender in West Germany and later the unified German state until the final adoption of the euro in 2002.